Hello. Hello, hello, hello. How's it going? You're back. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. It's good to be awake in America every day. So we have the Trump TikTok corruption. There's supposed to be like a Trump rally right now, right? Is that my audio messed up or is that the audio from this messed up?
Hostage.
Okay, that's my. Okay, well, there's copyrighted music on this, but Trump's having his like fascist rally today. 1 second. I can't show the audio, but they're having like a big celebration for King Trump taking over. There's no reason to do something like this other than propaganda. It's the only reason to do this, by the way. No presidents ever do this for a reason. There's no reason to, other than for propaganda. The same reason presidents do military parades, like Trump wanted to do. He propagandizes in the same way that any like authoritarian would. Some laundry. I want to get a quick segment on the TikTok stuff with Trump because actually it's pretty bad. Considering Trump's allowed to lie about everything to do with life 24/7, and he'll never get held accountable for literally anything. It looks like Tom Cotton's going up against Donald Trump. Really interesting. Wait a second. So Tom Cotton is speaking out against Donald Trump about the TikTok ban. Really interesting. How can I succinctly talk about this really quick? 1 second. I'm fixing some stream stuff. What's up, Alex? So, I have to get a timeline from a bunch of my retweets, basically. Let's see. All right, so TikTok was banned yesterday, and they put out a message saying essentially that Donald Trump was going to help them come back online, waging messaging on this front. We are fortunate that President Trump has indicated he will work with us, although we know that Donald Trump and Republicans were the people that wanted TikTok to be banned the most. So Charlie Kirk, we have Donald Trump himself saying multiple times it's a national security issue. More Republicans voted against TikTok than Democrats did. And yeah, Trump is lying completely about this. And now Trump's saying we should keep TikTok online and find a way to keep it running. So, for example, Donald Trump announced on Air Force One that he will be banning the evil CCP compromised app TikTok. America cannot continue to allow citizens to be surveilled by Xi Jinping and his terroristic cronies. I have long advocated for this. Fight back. Okay? Fight back. Then Charlie Kirk, now, TikTok is banned for all users in America. Biden had the chance to keep it alive, but he wanted this to happen, to overshadow Trump's inauguration. President Trump could bring it back online Monday. And then Trump says, after Trump says TikTok is like a national security concern that needs to be banned, now today Trump says, I'm asking companies to not let TikTok stay dark. He's going to issue an executive order on Monday to extend the period of time before the law's prohibitions take effect so we can make a deal to protect our national security. It'll also confirm that there will be no liability for any company that helped keep TikTok from going dark before my order. Americans deserve to see our exciting inauguration on Monday, as well as other events and conversations. I would like to thank the United States to have a, or I would like the United States to have a 50% ownership position in a joint venture. Therefore, my initial thought is a joint venture between the current owners and or new owners, whereby the U.S. gets a 50% ownership in a joint venture set up between the U.S. and whoever and whichever purchase we so choose. And Donald Trump obviously just launched his scam crypto meme currency already, where basically anybody can pay Donald Trump any amount of money. Donald Trump's net worth has skyrocketed as a result of this. He's profited like $40 billion from the presidency before even becoming president, with his meme coin, one of the biggest corruption scandals in U.S. history for a sitting president, or not even sitting president, but any political leader, using the office to get money from being in a position of power. So the cryptocurrency is really scary for a few of those reasons. But of course, like I said, Republicans wanted this ban really badly. Trump is walking it back, largely because one of Trump's big business partners is also invested in ByteDance, TikTok's parent company. So ByteDance also invests in Truth Social, which is Trump's social network site. And now Trump, after getting all this money from his cryptocurrency and getting money from the big China investors, now Trump is reversing course on TikTok for the worst reasons possible. And even like Tom Cotton, there's a bipartisan push because the bill to ban TikTok was voted with 84%, okay? 84% of Congress voted to ban TikTok. 84% on a basis of national security concerns. The Supreme Court upheld it 9-0. And Donald Trump wants to defy this because he got more money because of corruption for the worst reasons possible. After Donald Trump led the charge to get TikTok banned, he led the charge to get it banned initially because he was mad people were talking bad about him on TikTok. So having a leader that unstable and so guided by money and profiting for himself with the office of the presidency is really bad. But here you have Tom Cotton, who's a very far-right conservative senator, saying essentially, because he's chairman of the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence, and Senator Pete Ricketts, they issued a statement. We commend Amazon, Apple, Google, and Microsoft for following the law and halting operations with ByteDance and TikTok, and we encourage other companies to do the same. The law, after all, risks ruinous bankruptcy for any company who violates it. Now that the law has taken effect, there is no legal basis for any kind of extension of its effective date. For TikTok to come back online in the future, ByteDance must agree to a sale that satisfies the law's qualified divestiture requirements by severing all ties between TikTok and Communist China. Only then will Americans be protected from the grave threat posed to their privacy and security by communist-controlled TikTok. Now, demanding TikTok be protected on the basis of free speech, that's fine, but data protection is an issue. But the reason we don't pass something on data protection is because that would involve other big tech companies in the US who steal our data and who also work with Chinese companies. So they're all kind of just like kicking the ball down the field to avoid talking about the real issue. But it seems like Tom Cotton is taking a big stand here, which is going to oppose what Trump wants to do. But we have to see how far Trump can push this thing of this corruption thing before politicians start pushing back against him. Because the cryptocurrency is insane. Like, that is so insane that he's profiting off of a cryptocurrency, a fake meme coin, where any foreign adversary can compromise the president by selling him by sending him billions of dollars at any time and change his policy at the press of a button. We've never seen this much open and blatant corruption before, ever in U.S. politics. There is money in politics for sure, but the open corruption right now is naked. It's naked corruption. They're bragging about it, and many Trump supporters are defending this. They're defending this open corruption. And that's really, 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 really not good. Yep, save TikTok. After advocating for years to get rid of it. And the big comments under here that are anti-Tom Cotton are talking about why Tom Cotton should be bowing down to Trump and doing everything Trump wants, because they view Trump as a king.
Bit about this TikTok ban, which I voted against, by the way, since this is coming up soon. Last year, when they brought this ban up for a vote. Number one, they said it's a national security issue.
And also, if it's a national security issue, they should probably ban Temu as well, and a bunch of other companies, including Facebook and all these companies that sell our information through either illegal channels, unethical channels, or just if they're dishonest with us. You know, they steal our information. But that's why Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, that's why all these guys are sucking up to Trump and paying Trump off, because they know if they pay Trump off, Trump is going to reward them by not holding their companies accountable. You can't just pick and choose when to protect Americans' data. But Trump is doing that right now based on what paycheck he receives from who. Money in politics is bad. This is from 2023. 2023. Has anybody noticed that everyone wants to go after and destroy TikTok due to China influence and national security when I wanted to disable TikTok 3 years ago? Yeah, Trump. You wanted to do this 3 years ago. Trump was met with opposition from rhinos to Democrats to everyone else. They actually went to court in an effort to stop me. Now they realize I was right, and I have changed their tune. Sadly, I've been right about everything. So the contradiction we see here, obviously, is Trump led the charge in getting TikTok removed. He was mad when they voted to remove it because he said, I did this, I want credit. And now that Trump got paid off through his meme crypto coin and through investors in his companies who also invest in ByteDance, TikTok's parent, now TikTok is Trump's favorite thing in the world. Now Trump wants to protect TikTok. The doublethink and hypocrisy is insane. The open and blatant corruption is insane. This is naked corruption on a level never seen before in American history. We should not be celebrating Trump being hypocritical and reversing his stance here. It's not something to celebrate. It's not based on principles. It's not based on national security. It's based on Trump owning more, making himself more wealthy, and on our government seizing U.S. companies on for the personal benefit of the president. Trump plays the, even with Obamacare, bro, Trump said, Obamacare is terrible. We need to replace it. All right. But I should get credit for saving it. So Obamacare is bad, but give me credit for saving it. And also, John McCain is terrible because John McCain saved Obamacare, which was terrible. I should get credit for saving it. John McCain should be yelled at for saving it. And I tried to get rid of Obamacare because it's so bad. We should replace it with something. And I don't have a replacement for it, but I did save it, and it's terrible. And John McCain saved it, and he's terrible. But me saving it's good. So if Trump does something, it's good. If Trump doesn't do something, it's bad. That's the only standard many Americans are living by, and that's a terrible standard. That's a cult standard. That's a dictator standard. It's a bad standard for anyone who cares about democracy and the Constitution and power in America and freedom in America. The fact someone can get so much adoration off of complete bullshit, and he can change his opinion every 2 seconds, and you'll follow him around like a little sheep, like a little kitty cat chasing a laser pointer. It's pathetic and terrible. Our founding fathers would be rolling in their graves right now if they saw the way you guys are sucking up to your wannabe king. All right. Sounds good. Sounds good. That was a good enough little segment. How's everyone doing? And I mean the actual viewers of this channel. Oh wait, let me put on my Discord really quick that I'm live for real. That's crazy, bro. We have this today, Donald Trump's victory thing. All right, if you want to call in, you can call in quick before the rally starts. That was a good little impromptu segment. How's it going, guys?
Right,
I'm
but
on stream right now.
It's
by
not just like some
What's up, buddy?
Americans. A majority of
We're
the
talking about
fentanyl
the,
brought into America is brought by American citizens through legal points of entry.
about
Well,
illegal drugs, I
that's
assume.
not a legal mean, but yeah, it is American citizens. I agree.
Through legal ports of entry
I
for
think
fentanyl?
that the reason why he wanted to tackle that in
Is that what you
that
said,
way
Raisa?
at that
I just want to know
moment
what the
was
conversation
to
is. Is
take
that what you said,
care of
Raisa?
one part.
We're just talking about the fentanyl crisis. That's all.
Yeah,
Joel.
fentanyl. Okay.
Yeah.
Jola,
Thought so.
I want to nominate General Bow Wow instead of Pete Hegseth. I think he would be way better for the position.
Dude, wait, there's a guy in here that's top 200 in Destiny 1? That's crazy, dude.
Hell yeah, dude.
That's crazy.
He says he still plays Destiny 1, bro.
What
I
happened
didn't
to
even know
Destiny
you
2?
could.
Is Destiny 2 bad?
Destiny 2 was bad. I stopped playing Destiny after.
Is there a
It
game
wasn't
that
great, and then they did an update that made it even worse.
does everyone here game? Again, to some extent?
Am I going to be
I
stuck
just
with this
got-
name because I realized I can't change it?
Because I want to have a
just
community
got back
game.
into gaming. I just got back into it about a week ago. I started playing Red
Yeah.
Dead. I haven't played since I was 18.
Well, we said about Call of Duty Prop Hunt. That'd be a fun community game. Prop Hunt. But not everyone has Black Ops 6. I'm trying to think of a free game that we could all play.
iDarb?
I've got Black Ops Cold War.
Cold
there was
War.
somebody in the general chat that was asking to play Roblox.
No.
Hey, Jola, if you want to set up a good community game, you could get a Minecraft realm, although I know they do cost money.
I don't know how to
I
set
think they're
anything
like-
up like
they're like
that.
$6 a
SCP,
month.
Secret Laboratory, Jola.
Okay, I'm getting a
They're
call
like
from my
$6
stream.
a
All right,
month.
guys. Let's see if this call is fun. Thank you. I'm live now, by the way.
Minecraft games.
Call from
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
All right. I just came across your live stream on YouTube. I'm wondering how far you're into it, like how many minutes you're into it so far.
Right now, like 10 minutes only.
10 minutes, okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna argue with you about Trump ruining America. He ain't gonna ruin it, like in extreme, but with mass deportations, tax cuts for the rich, and then tariffs, we'll definitely see an economic crash before 2026.
Yeah, of some kind. My biggest fear is probably if things do go bad, is if he turns Americans on each other, or if he tells militias, for example. We saw this in the UK a little bit. If Trump says the reason we're having issues is because of immigrants and liberals, and if you're in one of these groups, or you should use your Second Amendment right to go after your fellow Americans, or if you see someone that looks like an immigrant, go for them. That's my biggest concern with Trump. And he said things like the Proud Boys, stand back and stand by. And then the Proud Boys were the first people that broke into the Capitol on January 6th. So that's my biggest concern is probably the militia violence, and also the fact our FBI is going to be useless and the DOJ. It seems like crime is going to be legal in America, and that's also one of my biggest concerns.
Well, there was already violence against illegal immigrants crossing the border. I don't know if you remember I think it was before he even took office, when he first started saying all that border stuff, which if you're going to come to America, do it the right way. And I understand a lot of those, Mexicans, which I'm half Mexican. So, like I
Sure.
have family who have come across decades ago illegally, but, a lot of them don't even know how to do that stuff. And it should be made easier for
Yeah.
them.
Well, you know why
not
people are
easier
mostly
to
afraid of
get
it,
in.
right?
I mean, there's a process for everything. It should be made known to them in their country.
Yeah, a clear
whatever
process. We should have a
country or
clear
origin
process to
they're coming
immigration with a clear timeline that makes sense to people. And it's really hard because it is very true that like 99% of people that are coming here just to work hard and live a good life in America, and we should be proud of that.
Exactly.
But they used a couple stories where an immigrant does a crime to use that to represent all immigrants, and they say they want people to come in the right way, but then Haitian immigrants in Springfield, Ohio, they're here completely legally, and they still got attacked. They still got all these racist lies told about them. Practicing voodoo, although they're all Christians. They're filling up the Christian churches. They practice voodoo and eat cats and dogs with zero evidence. Meanwhile, they're in a community because no one else wanted to work the jobs there. And the Republican governor and Republican mayor and Republican business owner brought them in to work these jobs. But there's that cognitive dissonance, and Trump never talks about actual issues like with the border. By the way, like Trump never talks about how to fix our immigration system. He just talks about big walls and why we should hate immigrants and be afraid of them. He's not once talked about immigration in an intelligent manner, about amnesty claims or about asylum or about anything. Like
the thing with Trump. Here's the thing with Trump. I don't believe. I believe he's racist, but I believe he doesn't care
I agree.
who. Like in his heart, I believe he doesn't. Like in his heart, I believe he doesn't care about none of that stuff.
He wants power,
he
right?
just uses it. He just uses it to amp up the people who are really racist. You know,
Yeah,
like
he doesn't care
people
about
who
like trans
don't want-
issues. He said before he like trans people can go in any bathrooms or gay people can marry whoever. He doesn't care at all. He just cares like as far as if he could talk about it, people get mad about it and they'll vote for him.
Oh, he'll say whatever whatever suits him at whatever time is.
Yeah, he's a
good
new
for
person
him.
every day, man. He's a new person every single day.
But if you know if he does, you know, and this is the problem we have in America is the biggest problem we have in America is people just blindly listen to whatever he's saying without looking at the facts. And if he the oh, eggs are too expensive, that's why I voted for Trump. Okay, whatever. If he does the deportations alone, will send uh, prices skyrocketing.
And it
30,
costs a lot of
40,
money to
50%.
do them too. Like it costs a lot of money to do deportations, and also, no one's talking about the bird flu. We had like 13 million chickens die, in the past year. That's why the egg prices are going crazy. All the birds are dying. But Donald Trump doesn't believe anymore in like preventing from like pandemics or diseases or anything at all. So if the birds keep dying, they think eggs might be more expensive than chicken wings. Like unironically, eggs are like $1 a piece almost because the birds are dying. That's not economics. That's not economics at all. That's just supply issues with the birds dying. And he's not talking about any solutions to fix any of that. But it seems like his supporters don't mind very much right now. I'm hoping they snap out of it. But yeah, people really just follow whatever he says. And even with this election, you know, he's the most anti-Social Security president we've had. He tried cutting it with every single budget, but somehow, and I know how, by the way, they lie to people. They're willing to lie about basic reality. Donald Trump tried cutting Social Security, but they put out flyers saying that Kamala wanted to cut Social Security, and saying that she was going to tax it and give it to illegal aliens or whatever. And people believed that Trump was
They
just as
already
good on
believe
Social
that.
Security. They already did believe it, but now he's lying on a mass scale even more, direct to their doorstep flyers. And Republicans will lie just about basic reality. They can do something in front of you and say, like, you know, I didn't do that. Like, I didn't do that. You just saw me do it, but I promise I did not do that. They're willing to lie with a straight face. They are, you know, bloodthirsty for power. And yeah, the fact that Americans thought they were even somewhat equal in Social Security is insane.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy. And you have, like, I believe there are three groups, three separate groups of Trump people who voted for Trump in this last election. You have the hardcore MAGAs. You have the people who the eggs are too expensive people, and then you have the people who just didn't want to see a black woman be elected. And um, we would have been. They just don't understand that the stuff that. And I'm not saying Biden is perfect. He, you know, because there are some things that he didn't do while he was in there, like he didn't cut the tariffs that Trump put on in the first in Trump's first term. He didn't take away those tariffs that Trump implemented.
Yeah,
He
for
didn't
sure.
take like
But he also did like the Chips and
Louis
Science
Joy.
Act, so
I
it
think
made more
it's
sense
still
when he
in
did
there.
tariffs. But it's like a neighbor. You have a neighbor, okay? One neighbor doesn't rake his leaves, all right? So he's annoying because the leaves are everywhere. He doesn't rake it. He never mows his lawn. That's like Biden, okay? But you have another neighbor who poops on your porch. And they see those two neighbors, and they say these two neighbors are both the same level as bad because they're both bad. But just because like Democrats don't have a fully clean house, because they're not spotless, Biden passed like 5 or 6 pieces of major legislation. Trump passed 0, other than his budget reconciliation tax cuts. And like the farm bill that he had to bail out farmers, because he helped kill them with tariffing China, and they did reciprocal tariffs on like our soybean farmers. So Trump had to bail out our farmers even more than usual. But yeah, Trump passed no big pieces of legislation. He got nothing done. He's a terrible negotiator. He literally made his money off of lying to people. The CEOs are all salesmen. They're marketers. Mark Andreessen, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Zuckerberg, they all knew how to get investors. They were not inventors. Like Bill Gates actually invented things. But all these guys, they scam. They scam people. And cryptocurrency and the crypto coin Trump just launched yesterday, he already became like the 25th person or 25th most rich person in American or in global history off of a meme cryptocurrency. And that means anyone globally can now give to this Trump meme coin. That means China, Russia, Saudi, anywhere can donate millions to his meme coin. He can profit directly, pull the money out. And you know, it can be instant just political. It's the most blatant and open political corruption in American history. And people have this one big issue in their brains where they see money being too big of an influence in politics, which I agree. Money is too big of an influence in politics. But we're entering a system where money is the only influence in politics. And that's a huge difference. There's a difference between some influence, too much influence, and all influence in politics for big money.
Yeah, and the voters in those latter two categories, you know, the hardcore maggots will never listen to reason. So you have these egg voters and these uh uh I voted against Kamala people because, you know, she's a black woman. They don't realize how low Biden and his administration kept inflation down. And
Compared to the
now
rest of the world. Yeah, we were number one, but Americans are really, yeah.
compared to the rest of the world, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And when it just just the deportations alone is gonna ruin all of everything. Our inflation is gonna be crazy.
Yeah, and withholding the federal aid to California for the fires so he can pass his tax cuts for the ultra wealthy. It's just very blatant what they're doing. And now people are just defending Elon Musk, like, oh, they're the job creators. No one is giving any credit to the hard American workers or the hardworking Americans who built this country, the people that actually worked the jobs that got these people rich. We got them rich. We got the ultra wealthy rich. They did not do this on their own. And they didn't even invent these things. They just had assets and they manipulated financial currencies. Elon Musk, people think Elon Musk is like a modern day Tony Stark. If I talk to a random person on the street, they think he's Tony Stark and he invents airplanes or spaceships and brain chips and that alone is funny, the brain chips, but also satellites and self-driving cars. They think he invented all of these things. The propagandizing has worked so effectively. They literally do think these billionaires are like specially chosen god kings, when in reality, they're just sociopathic narcissists who are able to manipulate people and control currencies and invest in the right companies, and understand how to, leverage your money in the stock market correctly to have quick pump and dump schemes. Pump and dumps. But yeah, we're heading to a really bad period in American history, and our biggest defense against tyranny, and our founding fathers knew this, and that's why I call myself a constitutional progressive now. Constitutional progressive. That's one of my new labels. I'm trying to find a good catchy one, but I feel like that's catchy enough because it's really what we're facing. We need trust busting right now. We need Teddy Roosevelt government to come back. Trust busting. We need to, even if you believe in the free market, as a capitalist, the capitalist system, the free market system is broken right now by monopoly power and the referees of the economy, which even people like Milton Friedman agreed we needed referees. Even really far conservative economists agreed we needed referees. All the referees are being completely bought off. So now companies can be corrupt and do whatever they want without any restrictions. And Trump is legalizing corruption. I definitely appreciate your call. I hope I see you around the channel. I'm gonna be doing these streams a lot. I'm treating it like a radio call-in show as well. So we have a lot of people calling in who do have the opinions that you spoke about. And I would add the fourth category of Trump supporter, where they just kind of believed all the lies. They didn't really vote for Trump. They just voted for him because they thought Kamala was so bad. And that's, by the way, that's why Trump spent $0 on positive ads for himself. He spent 100% of his money on negative ads to make everyone else look bad. Because if everyone else looks bad, then you can make everyone just say, well, Trump is corrupt, but Democrats were corrupt too. And no one's nuance works because he shuts down their brains by using anger and fear, by talking about their kids getting sex change surgeries when they go to school, which doesn't happen, and talking about illegal immigrants outside your house that are ready to kill you whenever you go outside, which I know that these people don't know about because they live in suburbs typically and they aren't even around immigrants half the time. But yeah.
There is one more thing I do want to say to the people, who are, because I'm reading the chat and I see these, they're Trump this, Trump that. If you say you believe in God and you're a Christian, and and you support Trump, you should be ashamed of yourself. There's no, there's the the man lusted after his own daughter on live TV and radio
That
several
was
times.
crazy,
The
bro.
man was
Yeah.
best friends with Epstein for many years, and the only reason why he kicked Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago was because Epstein got caught. And he right now to this day he still rides around in Epstein's jet, and he wished that Maxwell lady good luck and all this. The man's sick. The man's sick, and if you're a Christian and you say you believe in God and you support stuff like that, you should be ashamed of yourself.
True.
But
And
that's all I
also,
have to say. I appreciate
one more
you
statement
letting
on
me
that.
talk.
Yeah, I appreciate you calling in. It's always nice to have someone call in who's not going to be screaming about really dumb things. It's nice to have little, I want people to call in that agree as well to express their concerns, because I want us to talk about what's happening, messaging, and all that kind of stuff. But also what you just said, knowing what happened to the islands and countries of like Haiti and Jamaica and a bunch of other countries that were kind of used for slavery or slave breeding or all these different terrible purposes. And these countries are riddled with civil wars and natural disasters, and they fall apart constantly because of these things, out of their control, largely because imperialist nations like France, UK, America ruined these areas. The fact that Haiti is so Christian is because Christian missionaries go there on mission trips to get people to believe in God and to read the Bible. And that's why Haiti is so Christian. And still, when Haitian immigrants were under attack, I knew people who personally went to Haiti to go on mission trips, and they did not speak up when Haitian immigrants were under attack. They did not speak up when they were when people said they were practicing voodoo and eating cats and dogs. So that is the most hypocritical thing you can do. You're using God to self-satisfy your own ego. You don't care about protecting God's earth or God's people or your neighbors at all. You just went to Haiti for your mission trip so you could take a picture with a couple of black kids there, and you could say that, oh, look at me, I'm super, I care about, I'm doing God's work. Actually do it. Actually follow through with the teachings you claim to believe in. But yeah, definitely thank you for the call.
All right, buddy.
I think you have a good one.
This group, right? But then you need to have somebody to have those conversations and this kind of messaging to people on the right that are in places of power, to have this kind of point of view conversations that in their echo chambers, whether it's people on the right that are just Trump supporters, MAGA, conservative, or the ones in power, they're not hearing those conversations. They're not having these points of views. So that needs to get to them as well.
I mean, it's
And I don't
almost
know how you do that.
intentional, I feel, right? Like it feels like it's almost intentional that the other side really only hears the "we need to make drugs legal" part instead of, hearing the entire thing where it's like, we need to make drugs
Mhm.
legal and also institute a whole bunch of like harm reduction shit in the background.
Needs to be a
I have a
cultural
question
change
for
too.
Red's Acres. What do you think of the government funded safe injection sites?
It's incredibly interesting. It hasn't worked out great in where we have decriminalized drugs, but I think that's going on to someone else's point is we haven't done all the other stuff that needs to be done. We've just
Job
decriminalized
programs,
and get safe injection. That we haven't done
social
all the
workers,
other
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, you need the social workers and the job programs there, yeah. That's
Yeah, you're
right.
keeping
Yeah,
people
the
alive,
safe
right?
And we
injection
need a
sites are just like one part of like a myriad of things that need to be done in
yeah,
order to help these people.
Yeah.
It depends
and
what
we
your
need a
goal
That's
is,
just
though.
that's
cultural
just
change.
one
Is your goal
section of
getting?
harm reduction.
Is your
It
goal
just
not
keeps people
seeing
from
homeless
killing
people?
themselves.
Is your goal not
Yeah.
seeing homeless people on the streets, or is your goal actually helping people? That's one of the big conversations.
Holy
Well,
shit, I
I
gotta
missed
turn
that.
you up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
Joel was
couldn't hear you
quiet
there.
for some reason.